What's going on YouTube? Lewis back again with another video, and today we have my Audi Q3 Sportback Edition 1. Firstly, I'd like to apologise for the lack of videos for my current subscribers, current viewers. You'll know that my last video was about 4 or 5 months ago. That was on my Audi S3, which is now gone. But yeah, I'd like to apologise for that. There's been some issues with YouTube and monetization. It's kind of been a bit demotivating and stuff. But yeah, we have surpassed the 1,000 subscriber mark. I think we're on about 1,350 now, which is excellent. I'm hoping sort of by the end of this video we can get to 1,500. That would be great. So make sure you subscribe, share, so we can get up to there. But yeah, thank you for my support, because yeah, it's kept me going and given me the obviously reason to do this video. Obviously besides it being a fantastic car, and you'll see why in a minute. But yeah, today we're just going to really touch on the features, the specification of the car, what's new, sort of the differences between the normal Q3 and the Q3 Sportback. There'll be some separate videos on what I like about it, what I don't like, and some other features. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you want to see, how the car drives and stuff like that. But yeah, nevertheless, let's get into it. Another thing I wanted to touch on was the colour. In this light, it actually does kind of look like a glacier white, but this is Audi's all new Do Silver. This is kind of been launched on the Q3 Sportback, and what a colour it is. If you come closely, it is a metallic paint. It's about 595 option from Audi. But yeah, it's got sort of like these nice little flakes in the paintwork. Very high quality paint, but it does kind of look satin, like a matte satin finish to the car, which looks really good. And where this is the Edition 1 version, you'll notice I've got black mirrors, I've got the tinted windows, black outlining, so all the chrome's been taken off, so completely de-chromed. And then round the wheel arch and the sort of the side skirt, you've got this black finish as well, which ties them really nicely. And the all-important feature of this car, you've got these lovely 20-inch diamond cut alloys. These are Audi Sport alloys as well. These really do set off the car. I don't know if you've seen the S-Lines and the Sports and whatnot. They are lovely cars, but this Edition 1 just takes it above the rest, and I think completely changes the car. The Edition 1 styling does come around the front of the car as well, because you've got these sort of really big sort of black sort of like fake intakes here. You've got the front splitter, and then you've got the black outlining around the grille. And with the grille, actually, it's sort of like a 3D grille. You've got these kind of like overlays here, which give it sort of a massive sort of presence changing effect. So if you are looking in the rearview mirror and you see this grille, you will know it is the Sportback over the normal Q3. And also another feature with the Edition 1, you do get some sort of optional equipment with it when you do select it. Stuff like you've got matrix lights on the front. So you notice with the indicators at the front, they actually do the sweeping motion rather than the standard flashing, and that indicates obviously matrix lights. So at night, on a separate video I'll show that as well. The vision is crazy. It lights up all the road signs around you, giving you sort of a clear view of the road. When drivers are coming towards you, it will like sort of shut down mini individual LED lights to make sure that it's not blinding the other driver, but it does keep your lane lit up as well. So yeah, I'll put a video up on that, because I think that is a feature that needs a whole video on, because it's so sort of such a complicated system. But yeah, it really does work. Another thing I want to touch on as well is the engine. So as I said, we've got the 35 TFSI here. And what we'll do, we'll actually go and pop the hood. So yeah, the 35 TFSI engine is a 1.5 petrol engine, which is here. So yeah, we've got the 1.5 petrol engine with 150 PS. 0 to 60 is sort of under the 9-second mark, but where I've come from the S3, that does feel slow, but again, it's really all you need. But I've not got this car to sort of drive how I drove the S3. This is more of a sensible, practical car. I think sort of more cruising, and the specification and the comfort of this car is what I was looking for, and it does everything sort of pretty perfect. But yeah, the side profile of the car is just spot on as well. I mean, everybody's looking at this car because there's not many on the road, and 2, because it is probably one of the best looking small SUVs on the road at the moment. But yeah, leave me a comment below and let me know what you think, what other brands you prefer and whatnot. And another small feature which makes a big difference is this rear spoiler here. It does really have an effect on the side profile, and that little sort of lip spoiler on the boot does kind of poke out as well, which is molded into the shape of the car. And the front, it's got sort of like it's aggressive but it's subtle as well. You can see like the little lines in the bonnet, and the front wheel arch, which is kind of the same as the rear wheel arch there, which gives it sort of a nice symmetrical feel. But yeah, let's jump into the car and let's see what features are inside. So inside the Q3 now, there's quite a bit to get through. With it being an edition 1, you've got some, as I said, nice additional features which we will go through. And I've also optioned for the comfort and sound pack. I believe that's a cost of about £1,195. That adds to the total price of the car. But for me, in cars I've had previously, it was giving me stuff that I've had before, which I couldn't miss out on. And where I want this car for comfort and stuff like that, then I think it was the right package for me to choose. But yeah, the first feature I want to touch on, with it being the edition 1, you've got twin leather seats, you've got the S logo in the seat as well, and yeah, it just gives it a nice upmarket feel. As you can see, you've got the sort of white stitching, quite futuristic, aggressive stitching on the car as well. You've got lovely sort of side upholstery supports as well, and then you've got this sort of a nice Alcantara finish on the seat. It does make it feel like really expensive. I mean, the car is expensive as it is. This car was just over £41,000. I believe it starts from about 39 for the edition 1, but then you can go to like the sport models for around 32, 33,000. But yeah, it does make it feel really upmarket, competing with maybe some of the bigger SUVs like the X4 and the GLC and whatnot. But you've got the black roof lining as well, which I think is an important feature. I'd choose black over sort of a grey headlining any day. It gives it a lot more sporty feel and upmarket feel as well. With it being the edition 1, you've got the flat bottom steering wheel standard. I mean, this is very similar to the normal Q3. The inside's almost identical, other than a few little tweaks and stuff depending on the spec. But yeah, the flat bottom steering wheel with the S logo is a pleasure to use, and it is got like a nice futuristic look to it, and it just does the job. It's nice to hold, it's like the right thickness. So yeah, thumbs up for the steering wheel. You've got sort of a gloss piano black finish around the screen, which, as you can see, it molds in with the screen pretty nicely there. Another thing you'd notice is fingerprints, which you will get as it is now a touchscreen sort of mechanism. But yeah, that's avoidable. That's not avoidable really, but you can use a cloth to sort of wipe it. But we'll turn the car on now, and it will reveal the Audi virtual cockpit. But it's not only the virtual cockpit, this is the virtual cockpit plus. So with it being the virtual cockpit plus, it's slightly bigger than the normal virtual cockpit that you will find on a Q3 or an A1, for instance. It's a lot bigger. It does fill out the sort of the dashboard quite a bit, and wait till the navigation loads, you'll see how sort of big the screen is. It's got the new sort of updated maps and whatnot. You can change it to Google Earth as well if you want to, and the satellite view. And then you've got your rev counter down there, your speedo on the other side. If I press view, it will make it bigger, and it'll make it smaller. And you do actually have different layouts on this as well. You can change how it looks, but this is the sort of the best layout for me, I'd say. Let me get the window down because it's really hot in here. But yeah, that's the best layout for me, and that's the one I'd be using most of the time. Right, so onto the sort of main central screen of the car. This is a touchscreen display, really easy to use. It would have been nice to have some sort of like haptic feedback when you pressed it, but yeah, that's fine. It's still easy to use. After driving for a bit, you'll get used to where things are and you'll be able to touch without taking your eyes too much off the road. But the feature I always use is Apple CarPlay. I mean, it's sort of like an updated version of what we sort of used to on previous Audi models, but yeah, you've got this nice clear display. All your apps are pretty clear. You've got the music. You can use all your music from Apple Music as well, and Spotify, whatever you use. So you see there's got the Spotify up there. You've got Waze, WhatsApp, Google Maps, you name it. Very, very, very clear display, and really, really easy to use. It won't take much getting used to for that. But then here you've got your like I'd say a little mini display for your climate controls. This is pretty similar to like the A3 that we're used to, but yeah, you'll notice on this one you've got the heated seats, and then you've got your drive select down here, and with it being the comfort and sound pack, I've got the reversing camera as well, so you've got the lines there, so when I do turn you'll see the green lines follow with it to sort of give you an assist when parking. I've also got the Bang & Olufsen speakers. You'll see one poking out there, one there, and then you've got a few down in the door cards and round the back as well. The Bang & Olufsen's pretty important to me. I mean, I listen to a lot of music. This is like a 3D surround sound, and yeah, I've got no complaints with the speakers. I think any Audi I have now, I'm going to have the Bang & Olufsen speakers or the Bose, whatever's current at that time, because I'm into my music. That's what I listen to most of the time. I listen to sort of my own music rather than radio, and yeah, you can play around with the bass, treble, the surround level and whatnot. It's a pretty intelligent system, but yeah, I definitely think if it's in the budget, go for the comfort and sound pack on this car, as I've done, and it just does make all the difference. I think the only thing I'm missing that I would really like is the panoramic sunroof, so I think if I was to get another one, that's what I'd choose, because it would just open the car up really nicely. And I think from the outside the panoramic roof does look good when it's open as well. It makes the car look more aggressive. There is some cool safety features on this car. You've got stuff like Audi Presense, so if somebody does sort of run out in front of you, or a cyclist, something like that, or the car in front of you does brake sort of kind of abruptly, and it sees you're not taking action that you should be, the car will warn you at first, and if you're not acting on that, then it will start braking for you, and it will actually give you the extra brake force that you need, because I know they've done a study that humans only use a certain percentage of the brake pedal when braking, sort of like 90%, but this will give you the extra 10%, so you're using the full potential of the car's brakes. It's got stuff like Audi Side Assist as well, which you'll see here. You've got this little section here which will light up when cars are in your blind spot. It's quite a good feature. I mean, once you don't have it, you notice how much you used it, if you ever do go to a different car. But yeah, that lights up whenever there's a car there, and if you're indicating and ready to go into a lane, it will start literally flashing, to kind of make sure that you don't make that move and crash. Another thing I'd like to mention with the reverse camera as well, if there's any sort of object sticking out, it'll actually put arrows on the screen to point towards the object, so it's a bit more clear when you are looking at the rear view camera. But I mean, the rear view camera is a very good sort of high resolution display, as you'll see, and yeah, it's literally like a TV now. But yeah, going onto the back of the car actually, because this is where sort of the differences to the normal Q3 is the boot. But yeah, we'll have a look at the boot size and see if it's sort of made a difference. And to do so, we've actually got a little button here, excuse the Nuke bottle, so press that, that will open the boot. Then we'll go around, excuse the stuff I've got in there, I've sort of got like a mat to cover when my bike goes in and whatnot. But yeah, you've got a very sort of large, wide opening, easy opening, and then you've got a pretty big boot space. I've had the normal Q3 and there's been really no difference. I think the difference is very sort of small, but the seats do fold down nevertheless. You've got these nice sort of deep door cards as well to keep some loose stuff as well, and they are pretty deep. You just stop stuff from rolling around. And yeah, there's not much space under here because you've got space sort of where spare wheel would go, and next to your battery and locking wheel nut and stuff like that. So there's sort of no room under there, because in my Q3 my normal Q3 I could actually drop this down, but in the Sportback you can't. But yeah, so big boot, electric tailgate as well. You can shut it from using the switch in the door as well. That will shut. It kind of makes like a beeping noise, like a lorry reversing, to let people know the boot's shutting. But yeah, guys, that has been my Audi Q3 Sportback. As I said, it was just a quick walk around video, going through the specification and why I've chose what I've chose. Let me know in the comments if you want to see any other videos on this car. As I said, I will be doing sort of 5 things I like, 5 things I don't like, going into that details and matrix, like what the car's like to drive as well. So yeah, keep the support up. Sorry for the lack of content for my existing obviously subscribers, and yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you press that. There'll be more content on the way. Obviously there's limitations with it being sort of a global lockdown, so yeah, enjoy whatever it was you was doing before we clicked on this video.